Okay, this video is for the H's and the Y's. I'm going to take you through our run plays here. Okay, here we tizzy. Y, we're blocking down here. Your rule is down to backer. Okay, down to FPI. There's a guy uh, that is a 4 technique or wider down here, so you're blocking down. H, you're kicking out. This outside contain player here. Run him to the sideline. Okay, let's watch him from this direction here. So Marlowe, you're blocking down. You do a decent job. The thing is that if they're going to read, you got to make sure you keep that outside leverage on them. Okay. Got to make sure you keep that outside leverage. You do a nice job adjusting and then just blocking them downfield, which is good. But it's nice if we can keep that outside leverage on that guy. Okay. Okay, Birkin, watching you. This is an excellent job. That's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Because look, he's trying to keep contained, but he just gets completely washed out of here. So it's easy to run the ball inside him. So Birkin, that's an excellent job. Another truck. We tizzy again. Okay, we're blocking down here on this guy. This is an excellent job. This is how we pin a guy inside. Now, the thing is that if we know we're going to have a guy that's going to try to spin out, you need to try to settle your feet. Okay, but that's a great initial strike. If he tries to spin out, now you need to try to play basketball with him and shuffle back and stay in front of him. Okay, don't let that guy fall off on you and be able to go pursue. Um, Once you feel that guy spin, try to shuffle laterally and stay in front of him. Okay. Birkin, I think I'm gonna have to watch from this side here. I'm gonna have to move some stuff here to watch. Nah. So we kind of missed the guy here. Try to settle your feet. You see how your feet are crossed over right now? You should be breaking down like you would on breaking down on a tackle. We worked on this where we need to foot fire our feet. Right now, we need to break down and start foot firing our feet to block this guy and not miss him. Okay. Now, granted, it still helps that you're inside out on him. So he's not in a great position to make this tackle. But in order for it to be better, you just need to break your feet down. Right now, you need to start foot firing your feet to then block that guy out. Next truck play. Okay, Marlo, this is good. You got your first guy inside here. You get on that near number. Now run your feet. What I don't like, you get good head position. Your head is on that number. You could be a little bit lower. I do like your wide base here. Your outside hand. Your outside hand should be punching him on the rib cage. I don't like your inside hand. That's how it's out here. This is how you get a holding call. I want that hand on the sternum. Okay, you need to get inside hand position, but then you need to run your feet. I'd love to see you run your feet. You do pin him inside, but I'd love to see you start running this guy in here. And you just got to be careful there with your hand position because they could call that for holding. That's a nice finish though. Okay, I can't fault you for that. That's a very nice finish running your feet after. Okay, that's kind of the drill we worked on where this guy's trying to get rid of you and you just keep your hands on him and you run your feet. That's a good job there. Just better hand position and then on initial contact, try to uh run your feet through this guy. Okay, but I like your finish on the guy. That's great, great job putting a guy on the ground. Okay, Birkin, you're just too high here when you make contact. You need to get underneath his pads. Okay, you're running out here. You need it once again, you need to foot fire, you need to drop your hips, and then you need to get underneath him and roll your hips underneath like a base block, like we worked on underneath the chute. That guy got underneath you there, and you need to be a little bit careful throwing that guy to the ground. If you use your hands to throw a guy to the ground, they're going to throw a flag on that typically. Okay. You need to use your feet to put a guy into the ground. Okay. And also you need to have your hands inside. If you're going to throw a guy, you need to have your hands inside. If you have your guy hands on the outside and you throw a guy to the ground, I think we got lucky there, not getting a flag thrown on you. Okay. So we need to do a better job of just getting our hands inside and getting underneath that guy and driving him back. All right. Another play, counter. Okay. We are running We are running counter to the offensive left here. So we are kicking a 5 or a wider. This guy is a 4. We should have communicated that we are kicking out the guy outside of our tackle. So our tackle should be basing this guy. Okay. And remember, I know we didn't work on that during the week, but they lined up differently. So we need to adjust based off our rules. His rule is gap on double to backer. Okay. Gap on double. So he's got a guy on him. So he's going to block him. And we should have communicated that we're going out here. So if that's the case, then you should be working up here to FBI. Okay. So right now, Marlo, you're blocking the guy we're trying to kick out. Okay. You could be up to the inside backer there. Okay, Birkin, you're up through the hole. We need to be lower. And when you make contact with someone, once again, you need to be underneath their shoulder pads and you need to be lifting them up. Okay. You're not in a great position to block this guy. And what I would have loved to seen you do instead is that when you're tight up through the hole here, if there's no one to block, because you can see Ife's blocking that guy, you need to look inside for the next flowing linebacker who's right here, number 23. So when you get up into the hole, your rule is first ugly jersey up to in. So right now he's being blocked. So you now need to look in for someone on the inside, which is number 23. Okay. So that needs to be you making that tackle, or not tackle, that block on 23. So your rule is look up to end. Okay, another one here. Okay, now he's a 5. Now our tackle's messing up. So our rule for this game, and we might be switching up this rule for future games to try to make it more simple on you guys on knowing who we're going to kick out. But right now, um, the guy that we're kicking out is this 5 technique because when there's no tight end with his hand on the ground, we kick out a 5 or a wider. Okay. So right now he should be going there. Okay. You should be going around to FBI. Okay. Our H is leading up and through the hole. Like I said, we might be changing this from now on to try to make it more easy on you guys. Okay. But for our rule here, if our Y doesn't have his hand on the ground, we should be kicking out a 5 or wider. Okay, Burke, and I know they blew the whistle and threw a flag, so he didn't finish through. Okay, on the backside, we're going touchdown block. So work up to the safety, get in a good position to block him. Now, don't just punch him like that. You need to break your feet down like you would do on a tackle, like an open field tackle. You need to break your feet down. You need to foot fire, foot fire, foot fire, and then go block him. You can't just run by and go give him a punch. That's not a touchdown block. Okay. You need to take this block seriously, break your feet down and run your feet and go block this guy. It doesn't need to be a KO, a knockout block. You just need to get in front of him. Okay. Okay. Birkin watching you leading up through the hole. Once again, I like to see a skip pull, but you're up into the hole. Run your feet on the guy. Now, this is where Birkin on counter, I'd love for us to try to block this guy inside to out. So you need to attack his inside shoulder and block him out. Okay? You need to attack the inside shoulder and block him out because look where our running back is running the ball. Inside. Okay? So attack the inside shoulder and block him out because as you can see, his momentum is bringing him outside. So an easier block is just to take him that way. Okay? And we'll run the ball inside that. That's what we're trying to do. Okay? So let's counter. We haven't watched power yet. Let's watch power. Okay, power. Tight end's hand is on the ground. We kick out a six or a wider. You have a five technique. So your rule is gap, double to backer. There's a guy in your gap, so you're blocking him. You have a down block. You're trying to drive this guy all the way past the opposite tackle, just trying to wash this whole thing down. We got our kick out here. We're going to have a big old hole. We should have a big old hole right here because there's nobody outside our tight end. This should be an easy run right here off the tight end's block. Okay. But Marlo, we don't block the guy, which is not good. Okay, we got to know our rule here. Thankfully, we get lucky and he misses the tackle. Okay, Burkham, let's watch your block. Kick him out. Get on the inside. Okay, we don't want to do that. Okay, I want your head on the inside and wheel this guy out. And if you look at your feet on contact, they're right next to each other. So you have no power. That's when you make contact there. Okay? This is when you make contact. When one foot's up in the air and they're tight together. That you should have a nice wide base here, rolling your hips and getting underneath the guy. That's how you block somebody. And then you run your feet like you're doing. But you could be so much better if you actually had both feet planted in the ground when you block them. Okay, once again, Marlo, you're blocking the kick out guy. You kick out a six or a wider, so you should be going gap double to FBI. That's your rule on power and counter if you're on the play side. Gap double to FBI. So right now you should be going there, okay? Because the tackle has a guy in his gap, so he's blocking down. There's no one in your gap. You're not really doubling with the tackle because there's not a guy on him. So you're going straight to the first backer inside. That's who you should be going to. But you block the kick out guy. And I'm pretty sure he's the one that makes the tackle. Yep, he's the one that absolutely crushes Cole because you don't block the guy that you're supposed to block. Okay, gap double to FBI. If we want to be good, we need to do our job. Birkin watching your kick out block. Yeah, he kind of folds inside there. So if this is the case, then we need to try to get our head here. This is why this play would have been golden if we actually would have gotten outside here like we were supposed to. Okay. Because actually, sorry, we're supposed to be kicking this guy. So it looks like that's where you're trying to go, I believe. But you can't because Marlowe's in the way, so you just kind of work up, I think. But we got to get this figured out. We got to get this figured out. Because when this guy falls inside, we get this kick out. Marlowe goes to his guy. We have our guard wrapping up and through. It's a touchdown. We just got to get that job done. Okay, now we're running power to the bunch. We are kicking out 5 or wider. So that'd be this guy way out here. He's a 7. Okay. So we're FBI kicking out here. Tackles downing. Okay, but Aziz wrong. Marlo, you go to the right guy here, which is good. Now you just need to break your feet down and stay on the guy. This doesn't need to be a knockout block. You need to foot fire your feet here. Foot fire your feet. Stay nice and wide the whole time. Foot fire your feet, gator walk, and stay on the guy. And don't lose him. We should have ran the ball right there. But then he runs it outside and gets tackled by that guy. Let's watch the play from this direction. Birkin, same thing. Break your feet down. We should be running the ball inside you. He's wrong. He's wrong. You should be running the ball inside you. But you want same thing. We need to break our feet down in open space, like we're making an open field tackle. It doesn't need to be a knockout block. It just needs to be a sustained block where we get our hands inside and drive our feet. That's what that's got to be. Okay. Watch a wham for our H. For the Y's, it's like trap. Okay. He's doing a great job calling out the 5. We're just way too high. That's not how we worked on our kick out blocks. So once again, if we want to be good, we need to apply the techniques that we learned. Okay, you're level with them, you're not down on the hip, you don't have a flat back. Okay, against better teams, you're gonna get crushed. Matamida is gonna wrong arm you, and it's not gonna be pretty. So we got to do a lot of better job of having a flat back. Okay, we run wham again. Okay, same thing. We're just way too high. We're not down on the hip. Watch it from this view. Yeah, just way too high. Got to be down on the hip. Flat back. Yep. All right, guys. Got to get better. Like I said, we're going to make some changes this week to try to help you out. But we got to know our rules.